Welcome, deep divers. Get ready for a journey into something truly mind-blowing, a tool that feels like it just ripped itself out of a science fiction novel and landed directly on your desktop.
Okay, yeah.
There's a buzz swirling around a brand new free AI tool that's promising nothing less than pro-level Photoshop edits in seconds with only text. And let me tell you, its capabilities are absolutely bananas.
Indeed. It's a remarkable moment because this isn't just another incremental update in AI image generation. This tool, in particular, signals a pretty significant leap forward.
How so?
Not just in raw capability, but in its accessibility,
Yeah.
allowing anyone with a prompt to tap into what feels like high-end visual effects.
That's right. We're talking about Google's long-awaited, and as we'll soon discover, appropriately named Nano Banana AI model.
Yeah, Nano Banana. It is quite a name.
It is. And for this deep dive, our mission is clear. We're going to peel back the layers of this fascinating technology. We'll be exploring its core capabilities, understanding its real-world impact across various industries, and uncovering its surprising strengths, along with a few intriguing limitations. Our goal is to give you, our listeners, a shortcut to being truly well-informed about what this means for the future of digital content.
And the headline here is truly remarkable. I mean, especially for anyone immersed in digital content creation. Our source emphasizes an astonishing 90 to 95% character consistency.
90 to 95%.
Yeah, which is described as being far beyond what ChatGPT or Midjourney can achieve. This isn't a small feat. It addresses one of the most, frustrating aspects of earlier generative AI models.
Exactly. This isn't just a minor improvement. It feels like a paradigm shift. The promise, and what we'll be diving into, is that it allows for truly impressive cinematic universes with consistent characters with minimal effort, significantly shortening my workflow.
Imagine the possibilities there.
Oh, absolutely. From independent filmmakers creating detailed storyboards with the same actor to marketers building entire campaigns around a recurring mascot, all without costly reshoots or, hours of manual artwork.
And for those of you listening who are eager to put this power to the test, you can access Nano Banana right now. It's available through the Gemini app, where it operates under the 2.5 Flash model family.
Right. The Flash model is key, isn't it?
It is. Just be sure to select Flash to ensure you're using the correct optimized version. Alternatively, it's also available on Google's AI Studio. And again, the key is to ensure you select the Gemini 2.5 Flash image preview.
Got it.
That's the specific model variant designed to unleash these incredible image generation and editing capabilities. The Flash designation, by the way, just indicates that these models are specifically engineered for speed and efficiency, making them incredibly responsive to your commands.
Okay, let's unpack this core magic then. Starting with perhaps the most immediate and, frankly, astounding demonstrations. Putting your own image to the test.
Ah, yes, the selfie test.
Exactly. Imagine taking a simple selfie and then watching as an AI seamlessly transforms your expression, your features, or even your entire environment, all while maintaining an uncanny likeness of you. That's precisely what our source material shows us in these initial kind of wild tests.
What's truly fascinating here, and really the crux of why this is such a game changer, is the sheer significance of this level of consistency. Historically, maintaining a character's identity across multiple generated images has been a huge, often insurmountable hurdle for AI.
Oh, definitely. You always got that slightly off look.
Right. It often felt like each new prompt created a slightly different, almost uncanny valley-like version of the same person. Nano Banana fundamentally changes that, allowing for dynamic, evolving scenes of the same character, pretty much indistinguishable from the original input.
Which is massive for storytelling.
It's monumental, yeah. For digital storytelling, animation, virtual production, any form of content creation where continuity, recognizability, and character fidelity are paramount. Previously, achieving this required immense manual effort from 3D modelers, texture artists, animators.
Hours and hours.
Exactly. Now, a single artist or even a small business can conceptualize and rapidly prototype entire storylines, drastically reducing costs, accelerating time to market, and, democratizing access to high-end visual production.
Okay, let's dive into some specifics from the source material. The user put this to the test by taking a photo of themselves. The first prompt was remarkably simple, yet deeply challenging for AI. Make him laughing.
The classic test.
And the result. The user was really impressed with the result, consistency of the face, and it successfully changed my face expression to laughing. It wasn't just a generic smiling face. It was his face, with his specific facial features, contorted into a genuine, consistent laugh.
That precision in emotional manipulation is incredibly difficult to achieve without losing the original identity. It's not just slapping a smile on, it's understanding how that specific face laughs.
Absolutely, and this ability extends far beyond simple expressions. Consider a later prompt given to the model. Make the weather snowy and his face expression sad and despair.
Okay, so adding mood and environment too.
Exactly. The model delivered, with the render came out pretty good. Exactly what I asked for, nothing more, nothing less, and it did a really good job.
So this demonstrates not just refined facial expression control, but also the ability to seamlessly integrate that specific emotional state into a broader environmental change, a snowy, somber setting, all while maintaining the character's core identity with impressive accuracy.
Yeah, it's about creating a holistic scene, not just isolated edits.
Right.
And it's not just expressions either. It gets incredibly granular with physical features and accessories. The user decided to get creative and push the limits, asking to be bald and removed the head. Oh, wait, sorry. Bald and removed the hat. My mistake.
Removing the head would be a bit much. Removing the hat, though, that's tricky.
Right. But the model executed this with impressive precision, doing a fantastic job preserving facial details, removed the hat seamlessly from the image, and made me bald.
That's impressive.
Yeah,
That requires a good understanding of head shape, hair follicles, how light interacts with skin, especially where the hat was. The seamless removal is key.
definitely. And it continued to perform with other, perhaps less drastic, but equally precise alterations. When prompted, give him a mohawk hair, the model handled it very good, seamlessly added a distinct punk rock hairstyle.
Wow.
Then, to test a more formal look, the prompt, give him a formal hair and a full mustache, also yielded impressive results where the user was not disappointed. It gave me a mustache here and a formal-looking hair.
These examples really highlight the model's capacity for fine-tuned stylistic control over appearance while consistently keeping the base character recognizable. It allows for rapid iteration of character designs or transformations for different scenarios, like try out a few looks in seconds.
Exactly, and it doesn't stop at just changing physical traits. The model can also seamlessly add, remove, and even make characters interact with objects in a remarkably natural way. For instance, the prompt, make him eating a banana, because why not?
Because nano banana, right. Gotta have a
You
banana.
gotta. It produced an image with 4 visible fingers. Banana looks pretty realistic fitting to the overall photorealistic aesthetic. Looks half-eaten.
Okay, wait. 4 visible fingers. Is that an error or just how the hand was positioned? Sometimes AI does struggle with hands.
Good point. The source didn't flag it as an error, just noted 4 visible fingers, so maybe the pose obscured the thumb. But the key parts are the realistic banana and the photorealistic style. And hands are notoriously hard for AI.
True. The fact that it looks half-eaten, though, that's a nice touch. Shows understanding of the action.
Yeah, it speaks to its understanding of context and subtle physical interactions.
And this attention to detail and contextual understanding extends to even more complex interactions involving multiple subjects and nuanced poses, like the prompt, they're taking a selfie with a dog.
Right, that one was great. The model seamlessly added a really cute dog, made us that we are taking a selfie. Fingers and hand looks quite realistic. There's even this small finger support under the phone.
Okay, that is impressive detail, the finger support.
Yeah.
That shows a deep understanding of how people actually hold phones for selfies.
Totally. And then, without skipping a beat, the next command was remove the dog and change his pose to a meditation pose. The dog vanished, and the meditation pose is definitely natural looking and very good.
So seamless addition and removal plus pose change. That's flexible.
Very. Though it's worth a brief note that in this particular instance, the text in the background appeared backwards.
Ah, okay. A minor glitch.
Yeah, a minor, almost humorous quirk that sometimes pops up. Suggests the AI is maybe more focused on the foreground instruction than background textual integrity in some cases.
Fair enough. Still, the core manipulation worked.
Absolutely, and the transformations don't just affect the character or a few objects, they extend to entire scenes and environments with astonishing consistency. It's almost like rebuilding the set around your consistent actor.
So taking the same characters into a totally new place.
Exactly. After posing with the dog, the prompt was, now change these characters to an outdoor scene high up in a building. And just like that, they were on top of a building with the dog. 5 fingers as it should be, and our faces and clothing and everything looks highly consistent.
Wow. From indoors to a skyscraper roof. Just like that, keeping the dog and the people. That's powerful scene transformation.
It really is. The entire context shifted completely, but the characters themselves remained absolutely undeniably consistent.
And further testing demonstrated its environmental prowess with subtle yet effective scene alterations too, right? Like changing the weather.
Yep. The model was prompted to make the weather snowy, and then later, in a separate prompt, make the weather autumn.
And did it work?
It did. In the autumn rendition, the leaves of a plant in the background subtly changed to autumn colors, and more orange strays became visible in the distance. It effectively transformed the season and the ambient mood of the image.
That speaks to its ability to understand and execute these holistic environmental shifts, not just slapping snow on top, but adjusting the whole feel.
And for a touch of the truly absurd, or perhaps just to push the limits of its imagination and consistency, the prompt, "Replace the tall buildings behind him with tall tree houses," was given.
Okay, now that's a transformation. How'd that turn out?
It was wild. The buildings changed to tree houses. They look a little bit more like 3D game asset. Realism dropped slightly there, but acceptable. Gave us number banana t-shirt with banana texture and big Mexican hat.
Whoa, okay. So it got imaginative, maybe you sacrificed a bit of pure photorealism for the concept, and added a banana t-shirt and sombrero for good measure.
Seems like it. It shows the model's imaginative capacity to reinterpret a scene, even if it slightly compromises that photographic fidelity in such extreme, fantastical transformations. It's just maybe a trade-off.
Yeah, between radical conceptual changes and maintaining absolute photorealism. Interesting edge case.
Here's where it gets really interesting, the ability to rapidly iterate and maintain character fidelity across such diverse changes.
Yeah.
From minute facial expressions to altering entire settings and even adding fantastical, whimsical elements is truly innovative.
It's not just editing an image, it's world building.
Exactly. With a persistent, adaptable character at its core. This means creators can now rapidly prototype visual stories, exploring countless what-if scenarios for a character's journey without the prohibitive cost and time of traditional visual effects or animation pipelines.
And if we connect this to the broader implications, this directly addresses that shortening my workflow aspect we mentioned earlier, particularly for pre-visualization in film, animation, any kind of rich content creation.
How?
Well, the key here is the model's ability to retain context and character across multiple prompts within a single chat session. You're not starting from scratch each time.
Ah, right. The AI remembers.
Exactly. It carries the character's identity forward, allowing you to build complex narratives and sequences much faster. It's like having a dedicated costume designer, set designer, and character artist all working instantaneously, understanding your vision across every iteration.
We saw this play out impressively in the AI studio tests mentioned in the source. Take the example of the user on an e-scooter.
Right, how consistent was that?
The model achieved nearly 90% consistency for the face, even in an action shot. The scooter looked natural, the hands had 5 distinct fingers, and it meticulously kept details like the hat. It only removed a minor red text detail on the clothing.
That's incredibly precise for a dynamic, full-body action shot in a complex scene. Very useful.
Totally. Another compelling test involved the user eating ramen, prompted as, "Use same man," and make him eating a delicious ramen.
Okay, another action, different context.
Yep. The result was a medium shot photo, which is impressive. It really understands camera angles and gave me a ramen. 5 fingers, hands looks really great, and face consistency is quite high.
Sounds good. Any quirks there?
Well, interestingly, in this instance, the model decided to get rid of my heads because of some reason.
Wait, got rid of his head? Or the hat again?
The source actually says heads, plural, which is odd. Maybe it meant hat, or maybe it was a genuine strange glitch. Let's assume it meant hat for sanity's sake, but it's a minor, almost humorous quirk either way.
Okay, a little weirdness. But the core capability, understanding composition, action, keeping the character identity in a medium shot remained intact. Shows the AI is still learning the nuances sometimes.
For sure. And its camera angle mastery is truly next level, which is a massive boon for any visual storyteller. The prompt, "Show me this scene from behind the subject," and same exact scene. Same exact character, but just cameras swept, and we have now a different angle of the same scene delivered exactly that.
It just moves virtual camera.
Pretty much. The source called it extremely impressive. It maintained the character and the entire scene, simply shifting the perspective as if a virtual camera had smoothly glided around them.
That level of dynamic viewpoint control is invaluable for cinematography, for planning shots.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is crucial for maintaining cinematic consistency and creating cohesive visual narratives. And it extends to complete scene changes while preserving the character. The model was told to take the character and have him placed him outdoors, sitting under a large tree in a forest, and he's holding an ancient book reading carefully.
So completely new setting, new action.
And it did exactly that.
Yep.
Gave me an ancient-looking old book, placed me under a tree, and kept the face consistency, again, extremely high. It's not just editing, it's a seamless, coherent transition into entirely new, fully realized context with the same individual, acting out a new scenario.
Yep.
So given all this power to transform individual characters and environments, what does this all mean for actually creating a narrative sequence with a consistent character? We're talking about generating an entire mini-story or a series of shots that all feature the same individual, but in different poses, expressions, environments, maintaining that visual storytelling thread.
Yeah, for filmmakers, animators, character designers, even marketers building character-driven campaigns, this is truly monumental. The modder's capacity to turn a single base image into a full semantic sequence is the key.
A semantic sequence. Can you unpack that a bit?
Sure. Basically, it means a series of images that flow together logically, telling a coherent visual story or showing something in various stages or contexts. Think of it like a narrative arc told through pictures.
Gotcha. So you establish the character once to find their look.
Exactly. And then you rapidly iterate on scenes, poses, actions, without the laborious recreation of character assets or manual adjustments you'd normally need. It's a huge time saver.
Let's look at the female character tests in the source, starting with a base image of a woman shooting a gun, which might already be tricky given the content restrictions we'll discuss later.
Good point. Assuming the base image was allowed, what was the prompt?
Change her expression to calm and show me photo taken from a different angle. While the camera angle didn't shift dramatically in this specific instance, the source acknowledged it worked elsewhere. The face expression changed to calm, which is great kudos for the model.
So it demonstrated precise, subtle control over emotional nuance again, which is vital for character development and storytelling, even if the camera angle part didn't quite land that time.
Right. Then, a more radical contextual scene change was attempted. Make her swimming in some tropical island with a banana swimsuit.
Okay, complete change of scene and attire. And sticking with the banana theme.
Naturally, the model successfully placed her to a tropical island swimming with a banana swimsuit. But this particular example highlighted a significant nuance and limitation.
Oh, what was that?
The source noted experiencing censorship when trying to prompt bikini, but swimsuit worked fine.
Ah, okay. That's crucial. Google's content filters are definitely at play here. It means creators need to be aware that their phrasing can really impact the outcome, or if they get an outcome at all.
Definitely raises questions about creative freedom within these tools.
For sure. How models interpret and restrict certain terms is a big deal.
So she continued her journey, exploring a jungle in Vice. The model placed her right here to a jungle. However, with distant faces, the source noted that there's a slight blur in the face. Consistency is here, but distant faces is still a bit of a challenge.
Okay, so consistency might degrade slightly at a distance. That's an important consideration for wide shots or establishing shots where you might still want high fidelity on the character's face. Good to know.
And to really push the boundaries of character consistency and form, the prompt, create a 4-panel character turnaround for this woman, was given.
A character turnaround, like front, side, back views.
Exactly. Essential for 3D modeling and animation to ensure consistency from all angles. It's like a blueprint.
Right. How did Nano Banana handle that? That seems really complex.
The result was interesting. It got slightly 3D game-like acid-ish here. We lost the photorealism here a little bit. This happens.
So it maybe defaulted to a more stylized, almost rendered look to handle the complexity of showing the same character perfectly from multiple distinct viewpoints.
That's how it sounds. It illustrates that while the model excels at maintaining identity in dynamic scenes, these really complex transformations demanding multiple precise views might push it away from pure photorealism.
Yeah, it suggests its strengths might lean more towards conceptualization or scene generation, rather than being a perfect tool for generating, say, final 3D model reference sheets in all cases. Still incredibly useful, but shows the boundaries.
The model's capacity to take a single base image and spin it into a full, coherent visual story, that semantic sequence, is incredibly powerful. But how does it handle complex environments and dramatic camera shifts, particularly when you're trying to build an entire universe, not just a single scene, from a singular initial image?
Right, scaling up the complexity.
That's
The ability to control perspective and scale is absolutely key for cinematic storytelling.
And this is where Nano Banana apparently really shines in simplifying AI film creation and pre-visualization, according to the source. They used a mid-journey base image of a character at home.
Okay, started with another AI's output. Interesting.
Yeah. And prompted, change the scene to the subject standing at his home entrance, leaving the home at night.
How did that go?
Well, the interpretation leaned more towards entering the home rather than leaving, a slight misunderstanding perhaps, but the character itself is like very consistent looking. The overall aesthetic and cinematic look is also very consistent.
So even with a slight logical hiccup, it maintained the character's look and the overall visual style. That's still very strong. Preserving that cinematic feel across big changes is key.
Definitely. And for truly expansive views, showcasing environmental grandeur, an aerial wide shot of the traditional Japanese home was created using the same character.
Ooh, like a drone shot from way above.
Exactly. This kind of nuanced camera control, where you can dictate the viewpoint from an almost godlike perspective, really simplifies things for creating AI films. It means you can rapidly pre-visualize entire sequences, from intimate character moments to sweeping establishing shots, all with that persistent character.
We saw similar kind of epic capabilities with an Elven Army example, too.
Oh yeah, that was impressive. Starting with a base image of the army, the prompt was, change the camera angle to show Alvin army from behind as they march forward, and in the distance reveal a massive white stone wall protecting a massive castle.
That's a complex instruction. Camera move, perspective change, and adding a huge background element.
And Nano Banana delivered. Everything we asked for is here, and overall, how they look like their outfit and weapons look very consistent. The sheer scale, the intricate details of the armor, the vast consistent environment, all maintained while executing that complex camera movement and expanding the scene dramatically.
That's a powerful tool for conceptualizing large-scale visual effects or battle sequences. Huge for fantasy or sci-fi creators.
But it's not always a flawless victory, right? When the perspective shifted dramatically again, this time to an over-the-shoulder view from an orc archer standing on the castle's wall, ready to release an arrow towards battlefield of elven army.
Okay, another big shift. Adding a new character's perspective. What happened?
The results had a subtle yet notable logical error. Things got a little bit mixed up because you can see now the army's looking into the wrong direction, though the over-the-shoulder shot of the orc itself was successfully generated.
Ah, so it got the elements right. The orc,
Yeah.
the viewpoint, but their spatial or directional relationship within the narrative got confused. The army marching the wrong way.
Exactly. It highlights that while its technical execution of camera angles and character generation is impressive, the AI sometimes struggles with complex logical consistency within an imagined narrative or scene, especially with multiple moving parts in specific directions.
Makes sense. It's rendering based on the prompt, maybe not fully simulating the scene's physics or narrative logic perfectly every time, but was it fixable?
Apparently, yes. The source notes that with few rerolls and reprompting, the logical error here can be solved.
Okay, so it's a solvable problem through user iteration rather than an inherent unfixable flaw. That's important.
Yeah. If we connect this to the bigger picture, the capacity to manipulate camera angles and perspectives within a consistent scene is still a huge advantage for pre-visualization and cinematic development, even if it occasionally requires a bit of human guidance to nudge the narrative logic back on track.
Right, a bit of prompt engineering and refinement.
So we've seen it handle individual characters and epic scenes. But what about multiple subjects? Can it maintain distinct identities for several characters? And crucially, can it preserve a distinct vibe or aesthetic across different poses and interactions?
That's a huge ask for any AI model. Maintaining the aesthetic and the pixel-perfect consistency of multiple characters while they interact is a real benchmark for advanced image AI. One wrong pixel can throw off the whole scene.
So the source provided a base image of two women in an arcade, a scene already imbued with a specific mood, kind of dreamy and atmospheric.
Okay, good starting point.
Yeah.
What was the first test?
The first prompt was, make them sitting on a billiard table.
And the result? How was the consistency?
Stunning, apparently.
Yeah.
5 fingers for both of them. It looks consistent, and their outfit and faces look extremely consistent, really perfectly matching the original characters, the hairstyle, everything. I would say here, like, we achieved 95% consistency.
Wow, 95% for 2 subjects, including hands and clothing and hair. That's genuinely impressive. Crucial for any multi-character narrative.
Totally. Then the action was changed, shifting the narrative slightly. Make them playing billiard. First girl wants to shoot the ball, and second one is standing waiting for her turn.
Okay, specific poses and interaction.
The model delivered exactly what I got, same consistent characters in the exact pause that I asked for. But here's the really significant part for artistic intent.
You accept.
The dreamy, moody atmosphere of the base image is still here, and I didn't even prompt it. It kept the visual style going throughout the different poses.
Oh, interesting. So it passively preserved the aesthetic.
Right.
The AI understood and maintained the stylistic qualities of the original image without explicit instruction.
Exactly. That's a powerful and often overlooked strength. It means creators don't have to constantly reprompt for style. They can focus purely on narrative and action.
That is a big deal.
Yeah.
Huge time saver and helps maintain coherence.
It also tackled a truly complex, almost absurd scenario, combining 4 incredibly diverse elements into one cohesive image.
4 elements. What were they?
Okay, get ready. A futuristic cyborg character, a traditional Turkish-style house, a specific outfit with a quirky detail of burning hands, and a simple wooden horse toy.
Whoa. Cyborg, Turkish house, burning hands outfit, wooden horse. How on earth did it combine those?
The prompt was simply combine all these images, and the result was fascinating and surprisingly coherent despite the disparate elements.
Really?
Yeah. While the scale is a little bit off because this character looks like a little bit too big for this room or something is wrong with perspective maybe, the model kept the character consistent, made her wear the outfit, including burning hands, and it placed her right on top of this toy wooden horse.
It kept the burning hand.
It did. That's the impressive detail here. It preserved that unique, fantastical characteristic from the input-output image, demonstrating a remarkable ability to understand and integrate specific details.
That's amazing. Powerful for conceptual artists, game designers,
Yeah.
mixing and matching really weird ideas quickly.
For sure. And for multiple non-celebrity characters, pushing the model beyond just 2 subjects, it was tested with a cyber ape, a cyber jumble lady, and the user's own photo.
Okay, 3 distinct characters. What was the scene?
The prompt. These characters are taking a selfie photo together in jungle.
How did that work out? 3 different faces plus the user's own.
Without any issue, it gave me perfectly the scene. The character consistency, even the consistency of the logo on the hoodie and this red mark is here, is very, very impressive.
Wow. So it handled 3 distinct, non-famous characters in a new environment, preserving details down to a logo on clothing.
Yep. This demonstrates Nano Banana's strength in handling multiple distinct characters as long as they aren't famous, meticulously preserving their individual characteristics.
Ah, okay. So this raises an important question for creators, doesn't it? While it excels at maintaining style and consistency with established or generic characters, there seem to be clear limits, especially when introducing entirely new complex elements or, as we're about to discuss, famous faces. Its consistency seems to have, like, a hierarchy of reliability.
Exactly. And those limits are definitely worth exploring in detail. We've seen Nano Banana's incredible consistency, but what happens when you try to introduce completely new characters, especially recognizable ones, or push the model's understanding of complex group dynamics, particularly when things get a bit crowded? This is often where AI models start to show their seams, right?
Absolutely. This is indeed where we start to see some interesting quirks and areas for refinement. The source started with a base image of 3 girls in a party scene.
Okay, 3 people already. What was the prompt?
They prompted to make them holding cocktail glasses with colorful, delicious cocktails.
How did the hands hold up? Adding objects to multiple people's hands sounds tricky.
It was. The results showed some common AI struggles. The hands got mixed up a little bit.
Yeah.
This part actually belongs to the second girl, and then we introduced the cocktail holding arm. Things got a little bit confused here.
Ah, the classic AI hand jumble.
Pretty much. However, the cocktails are here, the overall aesthetic and vibe is preserved. So while the finer details of multi-hand interaction proved challenging, the overall scene quality and atmosphere remained.
So it prioritized the general scene over perfect anatomical consistency in that complex group interaction.
Seems like it. Which is a known challenge for most generative AI models. Getting hands right, especially interacting hands in groups, is tough.
Then the tests ventured into the fascinating realm of adding celebrities with decidedly mixed results.
Oh, okay. This is where things often get weird or blocked. Who did they try first?
First celebrity added was none other than Albert Einstein. Change the girl on the left to Albert Einstein.
Einstein. How did that work?
Surprisingly well. Arms and hands are corrected now, and girl replaced by Albert Einstein. Looks a little bit more fitting to the overall aesthetic.
Huh. Einstein integrated smoothly. Maybe his iconic, widely available imagery makes it easier for the AI.
Could be. But the success wasn't universal. When added Messi to the scene without specifying a location or pose,
What happened?
the model replaced him here in a strange place, got a little bit of a struggle here, just kind of plopped him in awkwardly.
Okay, less successful. What else?
Asking to add the dog to the scene resulted in the model just added like a hat here. The rest of the dog's body is not here. Our model assumed this leg is this dog's body.
Wait, it added the dog as a hat,
Yeah.
using someone's leg as the body.
Apparently. That's quite an odd, almost comical misinterpretation of the dog's form and placement.
Yeah, that's creative,
Yeah.
but not exactly useful.
And finally, add Trump sitting to the scene demonstrated that Trump and Messi looks quite like Photoshop edited, and they look a little bit more artificial in comparison to Einstein here. It looks a little bit more realistic.
So Messi and Trump looked pasted in, while Einstein blended better. That's fascinating.
It seems there's a distinct gradient of success when adding new, distinct characters, especially famous ones.
Precisely. These issues likely occur due to the inherent challenge of maintaining photorealistic blending when introducing novel, complex elements, like specific people, especially when the model has specific guidelines or biases.
You think Einstein's historical imagery helps?
It might. Perhaps his distinct features, prevalence in public domain or artistic renderings, integrate more smoothly than contemporary figures like Messi or Trump. They're often photographed in specific contexts, sports, politics, and might be subject to different rendering biases or even subtle restrictions in the model's training data about how they can be depicted.
And that Photoshop edited look?
That suggests a failure in seamless integration, where the new element appears pasted on rather than organically part of the scene. And the dog as a hat is just a great example of the AI's imaginative, if sometimes nonsensical, problem-solving when faced with an unclear or difficult instruction.
Okay, moving beyond the purely creative, fun, and cinematic experimentation, what are the truly practical, tangible, real-world applications that Nano Banana could bring to industries? This isn't just about making cool images. It's about fundamentally changing how businesses operate in the visual economy.
Right. And what's truly fascinating here is how Nano Banana can dramatically accelerate design, marketing, and product visualization across numerous sectors. Its ability to generate and modify imagery for unseen original design products, rather than just known brands, is particularly impactful.
How so?
Well, it democratizes high-quality visual content. Small businesses, startups, independent creators who previously might have struggled with costs and complexities of product photography or graphic design, now they have this powerful tool.
Let's look at product placement. The source tested a fake brand bag called Alora with a female model. The prompt, product photography, make her hold the back, resulted in 5 fingers, hand looks very good. So the interaction was good.
But what about the branding?
Well, the brand itself on the bag was lost a little bit due to the distance. The crucial takeaway here, according to the source, is that Nano Banana works much better with close-ups when intricate branding details need to be perfectly legible.
Okay, so that suggests a strategic approach for designers. Use close-ups for clear branding, maybe wider shots for context and lifestyle. Makes sense.
This was further demonstrated with a custom product, a fictional Nano Banana energy drink.
Hey, gotta love the branding.
Right. Starting with an image of a man holding a generic bottle, the prompt was simply to replace the product man is holding in the first photo with product in the second photo.
So swapping the product out, did it work seamlessly?
Pretty much. The model didn't really disappoint. Kept and preserved the details of the man, just replaced the product only.
That is incredibly useful. Instantly visualizing new products in existing lifestyle shots or rapidly iterating on packaging designs without reshoots. Huge potential there.
And for advertising, close-ups are absolutely crucial, right, for showcasing product detail. A follow-up prompt like, change the camera angle to close-up of man's face. Now man is holding the energy drink with his left hand up and close to the camera, delivered precisely this perfect app posture thing where we can see his face, and not only that, but we can also see the product.
That capability for extreme close-ups, focusing intently on either the face or the product, is invaluable for generating those hero shots for ad creatives. Highlighting specific features, the user experience, doing it super fast.
Fashion and garment visualization also receive a significant boost. For a winter coat, the prompt, dress the woman with the nightcoat, saw the model perfectly place the coat and made her wear it.
That's a huge time saver for e-commerce. Visualizing garments on models without physical photo shoots, big efficiency gain.
Definitely. However, when asked for the woman to hold the coat, not wear it, and position the jacket in front of her, the result, while accurate conceptually, looks a little bit less realistic. More like edited with Photoshop, right? It looks a little
Well,
bit more artificial.
ah. So maybe a slight drop in photorealism when complex fabric draping and nuanced hand-object interaction are required for non-worn garments, where the physics of how fabric falls are incredibly subtle.
Seems plausible. It got the idea, but the execution felt a bit less natural than when she was wearing it.
Okay, good distinction.
Automated ad creation is another colossal area where Nano Banana could truly shine. Take sunglasses as an example. After prompting the model to make her wear the sunglasses product, it delivered, meticulously preserving the details of sunglasses like this, white elements like frame.
But was it perfect?
Not quite. It noted the rest of the white frame here is not really complete. That looks like an error there, a minor flaw. But then the truly game-changing step, a simple prompt, create a Rayet poster with this image.
And what happened? Did it just put the image on a poster background?
It did way more. It used its own intelligence, found the logo didn't do anything here. It wrote a mode alive and light, and it also added new aviator smart glasses and made an ad poster literally in seconds.
Whoa, wait, it found a logo, wrote a tagline, added product info, and designed a poster layout autonomously.
Apparently so. That is a profoundly significant leap for rapid, high-quality ad generation.
Absolutely. Imagine the implications for A/B testing, for hyper-personalized advertising at scale, or for small businesses needing to quickly spin up multiple ad variants for different social media channels.
It shifts the marketer's focus from execution to pure ideation, right?
Totally. Allowing for exponentially more campaign concepts to be explored and deployed faster than ever before.
This will truly accelerate things for creators, especially small businesses without dedicated design teams or large marketing budgets. Imagine a cafe owner wanting to promote their signature new drink.
Yeah, they can just take a photo of the drink and say, create an ad poster for my cafe with this product.
And it delivers, keeping the product consistent and writing some text. Though the source notes, the initial text readability is a little low, but the style can be changed with further prompts.
Okay, so text generation is possible, but might need refinement. Is there a catch?
A key limitation noted is that most of the time, models stucks with original aspect ratio, meaning it won't work if you ask a vertical story format for Instagram.
That's a crucial hurdle for modern social media marketing. Aspect ratios are non-negotiable. So while the creative power is immense, practical deployment still requires understanding its current technical boundaries. It can't just magically resize and reformat everything perfectly yet.
Right. Cosmetics and skincare are another perfect fit for Nano Banana's capabilities, where product visualization and application are key. For an anti-aging cream named Rowena,
Another fictional brand.
yep, the prompt, the woman is holding the anti-aging cream directly looking to the camera, resulted in the model preserving the facial details of the woman, the vibe of the overall aesthetics, and really, in a contrasting way, she's holding the product.
How was the branding on the product itself?
The brand name Rowena was very consistent,
Hmm.
but less of the text is a little bit morphed. So, again, text can be a bit tricky.
Okay. But the model also showcased an impressive understanding of product use and contextual intelligence, didn't it?
It did. When asked, now in the beach she's applying the product, the model, implicitly knowing it was an anti-aging cream, rendered her applying the anti-aging cream finger's hand, looks really correct, and we have brand visible, and she's applying the cream, looks really good.
That ability to infer the action associated with a product and correctly render it is incredibly powerful for creating engaging product demos. It's not just showing the product, it's showing it in use.
Exactly. It can even generate a mood board with this anti-aging cream, include the product stand beach wipe, though it sometimes changed the product packaging and design a bit.
So great for ideation, maybe less reliable for final pixel-perfect brand consistency on packaging details in complex generations like mood boards.
Seems that way. A reminder that while it's fantastic for brainstorming, precise brand guidelines might still require human refinement.
And did it struggle with anything else in the cosmetics example?
One challenge it did face, however, was with layered text, which is a common stumbling block for AI. The prompt was quite specific. Add a decorative, stylish text to this photo saying that Nano Banana image edit, but make her standing in front of Nano Banana, but behind image edit.
Okay, that's complex layering. text in front of one element, behind another.
Yeah, it struggled a little bit here, indicating that while it can generate text, complex layering and precise spatial relationships with text are still tricky and often required multiple rerolls.
It's a reminder that while AI is brilliant at many things, the nuances of graphic design, especially typography and layering, still pose a challenge.
Definitely. So beyond simply recreating reality or editing existing images, can Nano Banana mimic specific artistic styles or modify just parts of an image while leaving the rest untouched?
Local style transfer. That's
Mhm.
a powerful tool for visual storytelling, branding, or just adding creative flair without redoing everything.
So the source asked the model to make the lantern and her face look like a 2D hand-drawn Ghibli illustration in an otherwise realistic barn scene. Ghibli probably means Ghibli, right?
Almost certainly, yeah. Studio Ghibli style. How did it do?
The result was excellent. It
Yeah.
did a really, really good job. It only changed her face and lantern, okay, maybe slightly the outfit as well, and rest of the realistic barn stayed as it is.
Wow. So it isolated and transformed only the specified elements while maintaining the photorealistic integrity of the surroundings. That's incredibly precise and creatively liberating.
Yeah, imagine transforming a single character in a film into an animated character for a dream sequence without affecting the live-action background. This is that kind of power.
That's a fantastic application. What about a global style reference? Taking the feel of one image and applying it to others.
They tried that too. A sports photo with a specific vibe, blue and purples and blur, like a high-action stylized shot, was used as a reference. The prompt was, create a 4-panel image showing epic sporting moments, use the visual style of reference image, wipe colors, and blur.
Okay, applying the style to new generated content. Did it work?
It sort of did. The model copied the character as well, but changed the sports branch in the different panels, adapting the original character into new sporting contexts. It managed to reflect the blue and reddish color team to all of the images. It managed to reflect it.
So it picked up the color palette and mood.
Yeah, but the source noted it's not as good as Midjourney style reference, of course, but it does an okay-ish job. It demonstrates a nascent but functional ability to grasp and apply a broader aesthetic, especially colors and atmosphere, across multiple generated images.
Valuable for quickly creating a cohesive visual theme for a series of images or a mood board, even if it's not quite at the level of dedicated style transfer models yet. Still useful.
This sounds incredibly useful for visualizing interior changes, too. Traditionally, that requires expensive 3D rendering or skilled interior designers. How useful is this for rapidly redecorating a room or visualizing different design concepts in an existing space?
Yeah, this raises an important question for architects, interior designers, real estate agents, even homeowners. How does this technology simplify design processes, allow for rapid iteration?
Being able to instantly see a room transformed must save huge amounts of time.
Immense time and resources in the conceptualization phase. Quicker client feedback, more confident design choices. It really democratizes the design process, letting anyone play interior decorator without lifting a paintbrush.
So take a New York apartment, for example, a classic blank canvas. The prompt was, redecorate this apartment in Art Deco style with heavy nostalgic vibe.
Okay, specific style and mood. How did it look?
The model gave me the Art Deco and nostalgia, so it got the vibe. However, there were problems with plastic chairs, and table here definitely doesn't look like Art Deco.
So while the overall mood was there, some specific object replacements weren't entirely accurate to the chosen style. It got the feeling, but maybe missed some finer period details.
Seems like it. But for a completely different aesthetic, showing its versatility, the same room was asked to turn the same room into a full jungle style as a YouTuber studio.
Jungle YouTuber Studio.
Okay, the model gave us the jungle vibe, lot of plants. I like that it gave us a mini studio here next to the window. Really cool stuff. It did a good job.
Nice. And they tried futuristic too.
Yep. Futuristic gamer style with strong sci-fi elements. It turned like really crazy and you have some like floating screens everywhere and holograms and this and that. Good result. I like that it still kept the plants.
Huh. Kept the plants even in the sci-fi gamer den. So the model successfully captured distinct and complex thematic styles, demonstrating its ability to dramatically re-envision a space according to detailed prompts.
And it can get down to specific object placement and styling too, right? Which is very practical for minor yet impactful design tweaks.
Exactly. Like for a rustic apartment, the prompt was, display that you want a coffee table book about design on the table here and change plans and ways with the dried roses. Pretty specific.
And the result.
The user was Really happy with this result. It gave me a coffee table book about design, placed it right here, and changed the plants to dried roses.
That granular control for specific object placement and styling within an existing photo is a powerful tool. Visualizing minor changes without physical mock-ups or staging, incredibly efficient.
Yeah, for iterating on decor, product staging, prepping a home for sale. Lots of practical uses there.
So we've seen Nano Banana perform incredible feats, from character transformations to entire scene makeovers. But let's explore some less obvious, perhaps even edge case applications for this powerful tool. It's not just about creating ads or cinematic sequences. What else can it accomplish that might surprise us?
Right. The model surprisingly handles certain tasks that even dedicated tools sometimes struggle with, demonstrating its versatility beyond its primary focus. For example, long text integration.
Putting text onto surfaces in the image.
Exactly. The source prompted a Rosetta Stone-like rock, asking the model to inscribe a placeholder lorem ipsum text paragraph onto its surface.
How did that go? Text is usually hard.
Well, it managed to add all of the text with some problematic details here. You can see that we lost some letters and words in between, but it actually managed to reflect the whole paragraph, which is impressive, but you need to know that it's not perfect.
So, imperfect, a bit garbled, but it did manage to get a whole paragraph onto the rock. That's actually quite notable for conceptual art or placeholder text in designs.
Agreed. And what about photo restoration? An area that usually requires specialized software and a lot of expertise.
Yeah, the model was prompted with a black and white photo of Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, the founder of the modern Turkish Republic, and asked to restore and colorize this photo.
That's a challenging test. How was the result?
From the source's perspective, it did a fantastic job. It definitely restored and colorized the photo naturally. Very good job.
Well, that suggests Nano Banana has significant potential as a tool for historical photo preservation and enhancement, making advanced restoration accessible to a much wider audience.
Imagine bringing old family photos back to life or adding vivid color to historical moments with just a few words. That capability alone could be a game changer for digital archivists and enthusiasts.
Absolutely. Now, in this rapidly evolving landscape of AI image generation, where new models seem to emerge weekly, how does Nano Banana truly stand concerning its touted consistency? How does it stack up head-to-head against established and emerging competitors like GPT and Khan?
Yeah, the head-to-head comparison is key.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, the race for consistency and realism in AI image generation is incredibly fierce. Our source conducted a valuable comparison, starting with a serene small town in Portugal and asking each model to turn it into a winter scene.
Okay, winter scene test. How did Nano Banana do?
For Nano Banana, it managed to turn the scene into a nice winter scene, except this particular part here just kind of being ignored.
So overall good, but it missed transforming a specific patch of trees.
Seems like it. GBT, on the other hand, gave me more of a wholesome winter with snow and everything.
Sounds bad.
One issue, you will realize that it added a clock here, which was not actually present on the original image, so it changed some details here and there. But overall, the winter scene looks very alive.
Ah, so GPT hallucinated a clock, added something that wasn't there, impacting precise consistency.
Exactly, a common AI phenomenon. And for Khan, another emerging AI image generator known for its unique aesthetic.
How did Khan do?
The problem with the Khan one that I lost some textures and details. It looks a little bit brushed. It looks a little bit more painting-like. And we lost some realism here and there.
So Khan leans more towards an artistic or stylized output rather than strict photorealism in these transformations.
That's what it suggests, yeah. Maybe less focused on pure replication.
And what about a nighttime transformation of the same scene? How did they fare with changing the entire mood and lighting?
Nano Banana's result looks more like early morning for me than nighttime. So it struggled a bit with accurately capturing deep darkness.
Okay. And GPT?
GPT, however, actually did very good. This looks like nighttime to me, delivering a convincing nocturnal atmosphere.
So GPT won the nighttime round. What about Khan?
Khan, again, looks really like cartoonish a little bit on QN side, so it's not the best result. We lost the consistency and realism on the way for QN.
Further reinforcing its tendency towards a more stylized or illustrative output?
Exactly. Not really aiming for photorealism in these tests.
So when it comes to the overall comparison, specifically concerning consistency and realism, what's the verdict?
The conclusion from the source is clear and compelling. Nano Banana is the most consistent model, and GPT is really close. But when it comes to like character consistency or creating a cinematic universe, I would definitely pick Nano Banana over GPT because GPT changes faces like quite a lot and adds yellow tint to everything.
Ah, okay. So Nano Banana wins on character consistency, which is its main selling point. GPT is close on scene changes, but less reliable for faces and has that weird yellow tint issue sometimes.
That's the takeaway. It reinforces Nano Banana's primary strength for character-driven narratives in any scenario where maintaining a consistent subject identity is paramount.
It's important to remember that Nano Banana isn't just an editing tool, it can also generate images from scratch. But how does it fare with classic AI image generation challenges, those tricky conceptual prompts that often stump even advanced models?
Right, the litmus tests. These really highlight the limitations of current AI reasoning, revealing where the model relies on patterns rather than genuine understanding.
Let's run through some of these classic stumblers mentioned in the source. First, a banana-eating monkey.
How to do that one could get weird.
Interesting result. I saw much worse with other AI image generators, so I can accept this as a good one. So not perfect, maybe, but better than many others. A minor triumph.
Okay, what about an analog clock reading 3 p.m.? Seemingly simple, yet notoriously difficult.
It just didn't work out. Almost every AI image model fails with this test.
Still a universal struggle then. AI just can't reliably tell time on an analog clock, needs a deeper understanding of numbers and spatial relationships.
How about something more fantastical? A horse riding on an astronaut.
Okay, reversing the usual trope.
Gave me what I asked for, except gave me as a drawing or more like an illustration. Is this supposed to be more like photorealistic? So it fulfilled the concept but missed the desired photorealistic style. Again, maybe defaulting to illustration for unusual prompts.
Could be. And the classic, completely full glass of wine, another seemingly simple request that has vexed AI for years.
It just didn't work. It never works with any AI image model. They always struggle with this test.
Still can't grasp completely full. Fascinating. These tests reveal the enduring conceptual hurdles for AI image generation. Even advanced models like Nano Banana grapple with nuanced concepts. It's a look into the continued learning curve.
Absolutely. Now, with great power, as they say, comes some restrictions. What are the guidelines that creators need to be acutely aware of when using Nano Banana, especially regarding content moderation? These aren't just technical quirks, they dictate what you can and cannot create.
You're absolutely right. These are crucial guardrails that all creators must navigate. The observed limitations are quite specific and have direct implications. First, there are clear limitations with famous faces.
How so? We saw it could add Einstein, Messi, Trump.
Right, but the model apparently blocked attaching the photos of famous people as an input. It's an interesting choice, the source says, that you can just ask Messi or Trump or any non-famous face to be added to the photo via text prompt.
So you can't upload a picture of Messi to use as a base, but you can ask the AI to generate Messi from its own data.
That seems to be the distinction. It has significant implications for privacy, rights issues, political satire, fan art. It's a complex area.
What about content that could be perceived as violent or depictions of weapons? This is a common area of restriction.
A very significant area of strict restriction here. Guns or axes or things you can fight with, things regarding violence. If you have like a violence in your base image, you may get rejected. If you want to change an object in your base image with a gun or axe, you will be rejected.
So pretty strict then. Did the source test this?
Yes. They tried to change a lantern to a shotgun and were flatly rejected, had to switch to a water gun to get an output.
A water gun, okay.
The source calls this quite limiting on Google's site, I need to say, especially for narrative context that might require such elements, historical dramas, fantasy battles, genre storytelling. It forces creators to find creative workarounds or just avoid those themes.
And what about attire, like the bikini example we saw earlier when changing the female character's scene?
Yes, the model got also issues with like bikini photos, but you can, for example, just ask, swimsuit. It worked out fine.
So it indicates a degree of content moderation around sensitive content or explicit attire that creators need to navigate carefully.
Exactly. It often requires careful phrasing or finding alternative, less direct terms to achieve a desired visual. These content filters, while intended to prevent harmful content, undeniably introduce a layer of self-censorship for creators and impact the breadth of artistic expression possible within the model. It's a constant balancing act for these platforms.
So to recap Nano Banana's impressive capabilities then, we've seen its astounding 90–95% character consistency, its ability to deliver pro-level, Photoshop-like edits from simple text prompts, seamless scene changes, incredible camera angle control.
And a whole suite of real-world applications in product photography, advertising, interior design, even photo restoration.
Right. It's incredibly fast, allowing creators to craft cinematic universes and rapidly generate semantic sequences with consistent characters, effectively democratizing high-end visual production.
But while its strengths are undeniable and truly push the boundaries of AI, we've also touched on its current shortcomings.
Such as?
These include occasional struggles with integrating multiple new characters, particularly famous ones, those minor errors in text generation or when rendering distant faces, and limitations with aspect ratios that can hinder specific formats like vertical story.
And crucially, those explicit content filters.
Exactly. Regarding famous faces, depictions of violence, and some attire, those are significant considerations for creators, requiring them to adapt their prompts and, at times, their creative vision.
So, given Nano Banana's current strengths in maintaining consistency and accelerating creative workflows, it really makes you think, doesn't it? Consider this. How will tools like this fundamentally alter the roles of artists, designers, and filmmakers in the coming years?
Yeah. Will it empower a new generation of solo creators to tell visually rich stories previously exclusive to large studios? Or will it simply augment the capabilities of existing professionals, shifting their focus from tedious execution to pure, boundless ideation?
What new creative possibilities and, yes, what ethical considerations will emerge as AI-generated content becomes increasingly sophisticated and seamlessly integrated into our visual world? It's a huge question.
It really is. And perhaps the most immediate question for everyone listening is, what will you create with this new power now that the barrier to entry has been so dramatically lowered?
A provocative thought to end on. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into Google's Nano Banana.
It's been fascinating to explore. Thanks for having me.